What are you doing?
Calling turkeys.
No, you're not.
It's Thanksgiving time. Ooh, I do love me some Thanksgiving. I mean, gather around the table, get all the food on there, founder up like you can't even walk, and get to the recliner, and that's Thanksgiving, it is. We're gonna make an authentic, old-fashioned sweet potato pie, and when you slide it out there on the table and it's got a special whipped cream that goes with it, you're gonna be knowing that you have done it all. These people.
What is the whipped cream?
What is it? It is whipped up cow juice cream, with a little brown sugar in it and a little clove to sort of get it going. So I need to get me a pie crust made so we can get everything to working on dessert. Hey folks, before we get into this, I just want to remind you we're kicking off the Christmas season early, we are. Head on over there to the website. Hey, we have got so much stuff you can stuff in a stocking or wrap up as a gift. And there will be a 20% discount right there. There will, but for a limited time right now, we are bringing back the Big Life t-shirt. And 10% of the profits there are gonna go to what? The Lincoln County Humane Society. But also, don't forget our good friends at Chef's Tip, because you know how much we like them, and right now they're offering a 30% off, so it is time to stuff the stocking and wrap the presents. Hey, I'm not gonna get on to you. If you're feeling like you're overwhelmed at Thanksgiving, and you don't wanna make a pie crust, and you go to the store and you buy the little round man, Pillsbury Poppin' Fresh, whatever you wanna call it, but if you'd like to keep it authentic and old-fashioned, you just follow along with me. 2 cups of all-purpose flour. So we're gonna add a little baking powder to it, a little clove. You know, this recipe here will make you a top and bottom pie crust for like a 9-inch pie pan. And we're gonna add just a little bit of cinnamon, give that a little mix by hand, and I will tell you the secret to making good pie dough is the ice box itself, it is, and frozen butter. I just like to slice it really thin and put it in here.
2 sticks?
Oh yes ma'am, this is a 2-stick of butter pie crust.
No wonder it's good.
Yes, ma'am, it is good. So always remember, freeze that butter about 30 minutes before you start. You can start crumbling that butter up, and then we're gonna finish with a fork. Now we do have other recipes for pie on our little website there, and one of my favorites is the salted caramel apple pie. And it's got a pie crust that's sort of like this, but you can use apple cider vinegar or vodka in there. Now, vodka will give you a really good flaky crust most of the time, but so will apple cider. Fork time it is. Just, you can see, we just get that butter, get us some flour, and just go to cutting it with that. And we want this not so much a cracker crumb consistency, but because I don't want all that butter to disappear. I want to see some of it when I roll that pie crust out. It's sort of like a sort of shaggy, like flaky. That's the way I sort of want to leave it here.
You still have some chunks in there?
Yeah, we still got some chunks of butter, as you can see. About a 1/2 cup to 3/4 a cup of cold water, ice cold. And we'll just try to go to folding it in. We'll probably have to add some more before we get there. But remember, I used less flour than what the recipe actually called for. That way we can add to it if we need to. Now, I don't want this to stick to my hands as we're making it, so I'm gonna get just a little more flour here. Because I want this pie dough really on the air of side of it's a little wet instead of a little dry. We just want it to form a ball. Now remember I told you it would make 2? You can half it now, wrap them up, saran wrap, stick them in the ice box, let them chill about 2 hours, they'll be ready to go. Through the magic of TV, and I got up really early, already had one chilling in the ice box, so y'all don't have to wait. But see, right in, see that butter? Oh my gosh, that's what I'm after. So just take this a little bit with your hand and just sort of flatten it out just a little. I'd say if you could get to about a 1/4 inch thick, you'd be in pretty good shape. Duker, would you say that was a 1/4 inch thick if you was looking? Give it, it's about as thick as one of your ears. Okay, he says that is pretty close. So we're just gonna roll it up like you would one of them if you bought it at the store. Now in the house, preheat your oven to 375 degrees, okay? And then get your little pie pan. My little pie pan today is a 10-inch Dutch oven. But you remember us talking about, oh my goodness. And we're gonna have to wait a minute, Shane, because I thought this was a clean oven, but it is not clean. Another secret and a great tip for making the best pie crust ever is browned butter. Yes, it is. And when you do this, do it really low heat and let it melt there. And as you begin to keep stirring it around, and I just swish it like this, you're going to begin to see it eventually go to foaming up. That's when you know you're getting close. That's when you get that brownish color and you smell that nutty flavor. And folks, I ain't talking about much in here because we just want to grease the bottom, not the sides. So Duker says that there is enough. The rest of it will go in the sweet taters. Let's get this rubbed around here, Duker.
Duke's really into pie today.
You are doing so good. You like pie? Huh? He said, I love sweet tater and pumpkin, but I don't like the crust because it's hard to chew. This is a lot harder to get that pie crust in than just a regular pie plate that you're going to be cooking in. But if you still want to do it in a Dutch oven and you got a 9-inch pie plate, you can bake it in a 12-inch Dutch oven. And we're just going to roll her out across here, and then we're going to try to get it in here and come up the edges.
Good job.
It's sort of like stretching carpet. You want to make sure you got it over there the right way. It's a pretty fair job, it is.
Looks nice.
But you have to watch out, folks, because around this edge, even as we first begin to bake it, it's going to try to fall over. Now remember, when you're blind baking a pie crust, you got to put some holes in it. People be telling you, you need to put a pie weight in it. What is a pie weight, Shan?
I mean, they make them.
And what do they look like?
I don't.
Huh?
I use beans.
That's what we're going to use today, it is. Because we'll dump these beans in there, and they're heavy enough that it will hold the pie crust down. Now is the time that we need to put the lid on it and bake it. If you're in the house, remember, 375 degrees, you're going to cook it about 15 to 17 minutes till you see them edges begin to brown. Then you're going to dump the beans out, and you're going to continue to brown it for about 8 to 10 minutes, and then it's time to put the pie filling in. While that pie crust is cooking over there, I have peeled me 3 sweet potatoes. Now they're going to vary in size. I have never had it come out just right where I think 3 sweet potatoes is going to fill that exactly. There's always some left over. Try to cut them in even sized chunks. That way when they're cooking, they're going to take about the same amount of time to get done. We're going to bring this to a boil. Let them probably cook around 20 minutes or until them sweet potatoes are fork tender. Pie crust is a done deal. We cooked it till we seen it browning just a little bit on the top of them edges, and then brought it over here, got rid of them beans, put it back, browned that bottom up just a little because you want it to get crispy as well. Sweet taters was done, fork tender, drained the water off of them. We got them mashed here. First of all, here comes the brown butter that we had. Going to put it in there. Go ahead and give it a little stir. I have combined 1/2 cup of light brown sugar and 1/2 cup of dark brown sugar. 1/4 cup of white sugar. 3 cackleberries. There's 1, 2. We'll get rid of these. Don't do this in the house. To that, vanilla. About a tablespoon and a little more. Ground ginger. Some cinnamon. And it comes out pretty freely, it does, so ground allspice, ground cloves, ground nutmeg,
Can I just get the powder, or do you have to grind it yourself?
Well, I would rather you grind it yourself. And if you ain't got a little grater to grind it with, get your pocket knife out. It'll do the same thing. We need 1/3 cup of canned milk. I like mine to be just a tad bit sweeter. So I had some leftover condensed milk, and we're going to add about 3 or 4 tablespoons in here. This has got a little cold sitting back here. We're going to mix this up. We're going to trade this off for a power tool. Right here at the end, don't forget, we need a little skiff of salt in there, we do. A little flour, which is about 1/2 cup. I think we're going to add just a tad more flour because I want it thicker than pancake batter. Now comes that time to where you just need to taste it. There's just something about a sweet tater that is just good. And you know what the old women used to call them, Shan, many years ago? Toot fruit. Because toot fruit. They say you eat a lot of them sweet taters, you'll hear it coming down the grocery store, you will. We're going to pour from this side coming back, and we'll level it out a little. We can a tad more because I want it right up to the top. I do. And that's going to be awful close. It is. We're going to put it back over here on the trivet, and we're going to cook it pretty slow. Now, for you folks that are cooking it in the house, when you got that pie crust out of there done, remember, use it 375. Turn that temperature down to 350, and you're probably going to cook it 20 to 30 minutes until it just firms up a little on top. Now remember, this doesn't have a top crust, so we can actually see what's going on with this sweet potato pie on top. But the bottom, you want to cook fairly slow. And I've got light coals down there today because we got a pretty good breeze. We'll rotate it about, I'd say, every 15 minutes to see where we're at. When we're talking about this pie setting up, and that's when you can sort of see it congeal together on top, and when you place your hand on it, it's just a little bit spongy. Well, we hope this year at Thanksgiving that you've got plenty around your table. We do, because it's about in having family and friends and guests over. Go invite the neighbor. Never forget about all the blessings that we have, folks, because we have so many, and there's some that's not as fortunate as us. So like I say, if you can help your neighbor out, take him some food over to him, or if you're volunteering at a Thanksgiving meal somewhere and helping folks like that, we appreciate you one and all. Because remember, it's not the legs of the table that hold it up, it's his family that's gathered around it. I'm gonna tell you folks right now for sure, make this whipped cream. You see me just put one of them whole pint cartons in there. Get it whipped up really well. Brown sugar, white sugar, cinnamon, cloves, blend it really well. You'll want to put this on everything you got, and the pups love it, they do.
How is it different than like pumpkin pie?
This just has so much rich flavor. I think when you blend it that way with the canned milk and the condensed milk, you get the right amount of sweetness to it. But the pie crust is dynamite. I'm telling you, that right there with that brown butter on the bottom, a pie crust makes a pie to me. That's what the old people used to always tell me. It makes me want to do the
turkey gobble.
I am the make this pie. It'll be on your list from now on, it will. But most of all, me and Shan want to thank all of you. I mean, y'all have reached out to us so many times and helped us through so much. Thank y'all from the bottom of our hearts. Y'all mean the world to us, you do. But it is with great pride, honor, and privilege that I tip my hat to all the servicemen and women and all the veterans that have kept that old flag flying over camp. We commend them all. And remember, those fellers and them women may be away from their families now, so keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Hey, give our video a like. It helps our channel grow. And everything that we use today will be listed down there below. But also, don't forget about them Christmas discounts we got, because we got 20% off. Chef Temp's got 30% off. I'm going to give you a big old Thanksgiving hug. We love you, and we are thankful that you watch our video. God bless you each and every one, and I'll see you down the old-fashioned sweet potato pie trail. Hey, G, Dooker, your big head's in the way. Over here, Dooker.
Yeah.